Hello students, in today's class we'll be studying about the environmental management plan, and it's a very crucial step in EIA. So we will study about the EMP step of EIA today. Okay, so what is environmental management plan? Environmental management plan is a detailed action plan made for what? It's made for the project to ensure how to first prevent, reduce, control, and monitor any negative impacts of the project on your environment. So basically, your EMP is actually a rule book. It is actually a rule book to make sure that the project is done very responsibly and it is complying to all the legal mandates as well without harming your environment. And what are those components that we have to take care about? Air, water, noise, plants, animals, and people. Okay, so it's a step-by-step plan that ensures the prevention, reduction, control, and monitoring of any ill effect on the environment because of that particular project. And it's basically a rule book that helps you formulate the responsible and legally mandate plan for the particular action plan, right? Okay, now we'll come to what is the purpose of EMP. Why do we actually need EMP process in our EIA? So first is to comply to the environmental laws. So we have so many laws, like you have environmental protection law, you have Air Act, Water Act. So they have so many acts that you have to comply by. You have to comply and abide by all the national as well as the international mandates. So you have international mandates, and then MOEFCC, Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, they accordingly modify or formulate any law, any national law that governs these projects, right? So directly or indirectly, you are complying to the international mandate as well. So in our case, we have Environmental Protection Act, Air Act, Water Act, Noise Act, and so many acts we have that you have to comply by before implementing any project, right? And then you have to also ensure the protection of human health. Here we are talking about occupational health safety, occupational health safety, and also health safety of the localites where this particular project is going to be initiated, right? And then the protection of the environment as whole. Then you have to ensure the sustainable development. What are those components? So we have three components in sustainable development: the economic growth, social equity, and environmental protection. So whenever you are planning a project, you have to ensure that the economic development, environmental protection, and social equity is taken into consideration, right? Now we have to support and this is also done to support the process of EIA. EIA is a very comprehensive process. We have already talked about it, right? Now, where does this EMP process fall in EIA step? So we have already talked about the screening process where you screen out whether project requires EIA or not, and then what is the scope of the environmental protection for that particular project is what is known as a scoping. Here you formulate term of reference, right? Here the term of reference draft TOR is actually planned here. And then baseline data connection is what? Baseline is the current situation of that particular area before the implementation of the project. So that is known as baseline data collection. And then you have impact prediction. Here you predict all the possible impacts of the particular project on environment, and then you come up with the mitigation measures. So these are done by the project proponents and experts that they hire, right? And then they come up with the comprehensive environmental management plan. See, this is step here. Okay, so now we know that where this EMP falls in EIA process. Okay. Now, in this slide, we will talk about the peculiarities of the environmental management plan. So, environmental management plan outlines how to actually mitigate the possible environmental effects of that particular project on the environment. So, it includes a mitigation step for each step of the project. And these steps include, first is your planning phase of the project. Then the second phase is your construction phase of the project. Third one is the operation phase of the project, and the fourth one is when you try to close your project, that is decommissioning phase of the project. So your environmental management plan must be formulated in compliance to environmental regulations, right? And EMP must be site specific. It has to be what? It has to be, let me write it down, site specific. It has to be site specific. That means the EMP for coal mining area and the EMP for bricklands, EMP for dams, that would be totally different, because the people, experts, resources, money required, environmental consequences, everything, anything, and even the topography and the geography of the area where you will be actually planning these projects, that will differ considerably. And based on this, you will formulate what? A site specific EMP for the project, right? Now, in our previous slide, we have talked about the site specific implementation to ensure what? To ensure the sustainable development of that particular project. Sustainable implementation specifically, right? Now, it also requires all the managers. Who are the managers? Your contractors, your subcontractors, and your consultants, to have a clear idea of the environmental threats of the project, right? And then how you can actually mitigate these environmental consequences. So, in our previous slides, we saw that it has to be legally compliant. So, whenever the EMP is prepared, it is ascertained that the EMP complies with the rules and requirement as laid down by the in Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. It has changed now. I've taken it from the original document. Back then it was just Ministry of Environment and Forest. Now it is this. Okay. And the state pollution control boards. Okay.